Hi, I'm Cooper Burke here with Overtime Heroics MMA. I'm with UFC Lightweight Dakota Bush.
How's it
Hey,
going?
it's going good, man. How are you? How about yourself?
Uh, I can't complain. Living a great life so far, and actually getting ready here. And after I get off with you, getting ready to go pick up the Cuban Missile Crisis. Julian Marquez, we're getting ready to go play some disc golf here in a little bit.
Wow, that's certainly some plans. He sure seems like a handful.
Yeah, that's for.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. Is that me or is that you?
I don't think it's me. I'm pretty at LTE now, so
All right. I think it should be yeah, it should be working now. Just let me know if anything's messed up and uh we can fix it. Um, so obviously you've your first fight didn't go as planned. You stepped in on short notice. You lost a decision to Austin Hubbard. Now this is completely different. You've known about your fight against Rongzu for a while. Uh, is there anything different mentally for you stepping in with, 2-3 months preparation time and a full camp?
yeah, the Hubbard fight. It went, how how everyone probably thought it should have went. Honestly, people probably thought he should have finished me. I took it on 5 days notice. Had a big cut. And that's all besides the point. I went in there and gave it what I had. Tried to get him out of there. Couldn't get it done. But now I've had ample amount of time to get ready for this guy, and you know I think I showed the world, what I can do on 5 days notice. Now, just imagine what I'm going to be able to do with a full camp under my belt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You did pretty well in there on 5 days notice. And I think obviously Rongzu he's younger, but he's on a hot streak. He's was on a 10 fight winning streak until his last fight. So I think, is there anything different that you're planning on doing just because the camp's different?
Honestly, I feel like he's a pretty singular fighter. Like he's not very versatile. He does, a couple things well. He's tough. He's young, but I just think everything he does, I do better, and it plays into my game playing a lot better than it does for him. Um, he's. I think that's his biggest downfall. Honestly, is that he's young. I'm going to be older than him. I'm going to be, stronger than him. I believe I fought the tougher competition than he has as well, even though he has a bigger record than me. But, you know, I can say and, tell everyone all this stuff, but until the fight comes, I just want to prove it. I can't wait to get in there and show everyone, what I'm about. And I really just don't think this guy is going to be able to deal with what I'm bringing to the table.
Wow, that's certainly an exciting statement from you. I think, most of us over here, we believe you. After your performance against Austin Hubbard, obviously you stepped in on a 5 days notice. We all think you can bring it, and we're excited to see what you have. You know, does having your debut out of the way, obviously, it's not really a full debut, but does having that out of the way give you a little bit of comfort at all?
Yeah, that's I honestly, the way my debut went, I think that's probably one of the best ways it could go because getting short notice, you don't have that pressure of 8 weeks, weighing on your shoulders, and you thinking for 8 weeks like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that. And when it's short notice like that, I just got to step in the cage and just have fun, really, and not really care, what everyone thinks what's going to happen or should happen. All I had to do was perform, and now that that's out of the way, I'm going to be used to the lights, the walk to the cage at the apex, and I'm going to feel at home again. So it's going to be a lot, just a lot different feel, this time, just knowing that I can go the distance. I don't have to, try to get him out of there in the first round. But if I do want to do that and it doesn't work, I can still have the tank for 2 more rounds,
Yeah. I think, I think that could be one thing where you're different from Rongzu. Rongzu's young, so he might not know, your plan in terms of trying to get him out of there early or just going the distance. So has there been anything specific you've worked on in fall camp, especially with, the striking threat Rongzu poses? Obviously, most of his wins have been by knockout. So does that pose any real issues for you, or have you had to adapt at all?
Really, the only thing I think he does well is he has a good straight right. That's all that I think is dangerous. And, I'm not really threatened by his stand up. He may have 15 knockouts or whatever he has. And I just don't think he has the setup and he doesn't have enough weapons to use to get me to fall into one of his traps to use that on me. And, I'm going to be, leery of it, and I'm going to respect that from him. But I think I'm a better striker, and hopefully, I get to showcase that as well.
Well, you're breaking up there. It says your network bandwidth as well. I'll see what I can do on my end. Uh, yeah, I think that's. Hold on, this is not working. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're cool.
Definitely, I think knowledge of your opponent is definitely important, and now that you have that, that's definitely a way you can gain confidence. Do you think that do you think that this is the start of something bigger for you? Obviously, Rongzu, he's on a hot streak. Does this play into your future goals if you have any?
Yeah. I think this fight's just the beginning of what I'm about to unfold in my career. So I'm super excited to just get the ball rolling and have a long, illustrious UFC career with him. And this is the start of, like I said, a streak that I plan on going on, and I think he's just the first step of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not looking past him, because evidenced by your preparation and knowledge of his game. Now that you've got this plan to go on a run, and what is arguably one of the world's biggest fighting organizations, what do you do specifically to prepare mentally and physically for what is essentially your career? I mean, is there anything you do before you make that walk to make sure you're in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, I kind of like to just go through like a checklist, like starting with my camp. Like, did I do everything, humanly possible that I can control to get prepared mentally and physically? And then if I go in the cage, and I leave it all in there, I go in there and I don't overly respect the guys where I don't, utilize my own game plan. And I just leave it in there, and you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the man himself.
What up?
Hey, Julian, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I heard y'all are playing some frisbee golf.
Yeah, we're about to play a man sport, a real sport that only high level athletes know how to play.
That's for
if
sure.
You're not on this game, then you are definitely not up there in the rankings of high level.
Well, I think you're a pretty high level athlete yourself, being one of the better heavyweights in the UFC. But Dakota, are you taking any lessons from your last fight or your previous fights before?
Yeah, every fight, you can take something from it. Particularly in the last fight, it's just, I know I can dog it out when I need to, and hopefully I don't have to resort to that again. But if I have to, I got about 20 more weeks of preparation to do so.
Yeah, that's I think that's definitely a different mindset than what you had. Obviously, your last fight was on 5 days' notice. Are you prepared? Obviously, not looking past anybody, but is there anybody else in the division, that would look to be a good matchup for you? Somebody that you want to square up with, no matter the wrongs you result.
Yeah, there's a couple guys I got my eyes on after this. One particularly being Jake Paul. I'd like to give him the business. So,
well,
but as far as the UFC goes, I really don't care who I fight right now. I kind of want to fly under the radar until I start, cracking in around the top 15.
That sounds like a good plan. I mean, I think obviously most of you guys really do want to give Jake Paul the business, and I don't blame you. He's making everything a lot harder for you guys. So obviously your camp, you've got a lot going on, but I saw that you sent your son to kindergarten. First off, congratulations on that. That's a big achievement as a father. How do you find yourself balancing, being a professional athlete at such a high level with fatherhood and your family?
If you can figure out a way to do so, let me know. I still haven't figured that out completely. It's just, like you said, it's just hard trying to balance it all and, getting them to understand, why I'm doing this and why I'm gone so much. But, it is what it is. And, they make the most of it. We make the most of our time together. And, it's tough, but, at the end of the day, 20 years looking back, why I was gone so much and all the time spent away.
Yeah, that has to be tough for you. Excuse me. I think they'll appreciate that you're putting your body and your future on the line for them. I think it speaks volumes of who you are as a person to really recognize the fact that your kids may not realize why you're gone so often. But I feel like you give it time, they're going to be proud. They're going to see their dad make the walk, and I think that's something that you should be really proud of.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's one of my most driving factors is just trying to, hopefully, they see what I'm doing and it makes them proud, that I'm their dad and, that I'm the one that's, providing and showing them, kind of the way of life and just how, how things roll, how if you want something, you go get it. You got a dream, you got to chase it, and hopefully at the end of the day, this all shows them what hard work looks like.
Well, that's pretty powerful. I think if you carry yourself with that sentiment, through your career, I think you'll have a lot of success, especially with the talent that you have. With that being said, the hard work you're putting in, has there been anything specific you're trying to change in your camp? Obviously, you don't have to give it all away. Don't give up your game plan. But
yeah.
Has there been anything, maybe personally as in terms of your mindset or, maybe it might be some technique that you felt you needed to change and are working on?
I not really many mental changes or really physical changes. It's just really honing in the skills of, what I know how to do and trying to sharpen them up and just get in there and make it a scrap, you know.
Yeah. So, how excited would you say for this? You say you are for this. I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. If you don't enjoy getting in a fist fight, then you're probably in the wrong business. So, you know, up to the whole, you know, the whole camp's not very fun when you get into terms of how many weeks you're doing the same thing over and over. And then, you know, the weight cut always sucks, but when you finally get in there and get your hand raised, there's no greater feeling on earth.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't really have any plans to be a professional fighter, but I could see why that feeling would be great. You know, not necessarily any celebration plans. What are you going to do with your family once you're out of camp and once you're done with your fight? Anything special?
Yeah, I'm just gonna instantly after the fight get a bunch of food, you know, some sushi burritos, some Oreos, some junk, eat all that, come home, go out with the family, go out to dinner a couple nights, and get ready for bow season, and then, you know, get ready to schedule another fight and then do it all again.
So yeah, bow season. You know, you're a big hunter. Does that have any carryover in terms of, you know, not necessarily obviously the hunting skills, but do you see any parallel between your mindset when you're hunting and when you're in the cage fighting?
Yeah, you know, you got to be on your toes in the woods and also in the cage, and you know, mentally just being patient and making sure when the time comes you execute, you know, to kill whatever animal you're hunting. It all correlates and it all, you know, it all plays off of each other. I think hunting makes you a better fighter and vice versa.
You're a pretty big outdoorsman. You know, this summer, did you end up getting anything down in the Keys? Any fish or?
Yeah, when we were in the Keys, I didn't throw a rod and reel at all this year. I just I spearfish mostly, and the water down there is just beautiful. It's crystal clear, and you know, I just spent all my time free diving and spearfishing, so couldn't complain there. Didn't even have any notion to throw a rod and reel this year.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like the way to do it. You're almost always engaged in hand-to-hand combat, so why not take it to the fish? All right. Well, it was great talking to you, man. I want to wish you luck in your fight. I'm definitely going to be watching, see if I can get my friends to watch with me. But you and Julian have fun playing Frisbee golf. Have a great rest of your camp. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you so much.